like most of how these investigations begin, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children that monitors places where child porn is downloaded, they notified us. And then the investigation began. And painstakingly, the detectives, through a series of search warrants, were able to get a search warrant and arrest warrant today for our subject, in this case, Paul Ellis. Elias, or Ellis, I want to say his name. And obviously we got over 400 images, pretty disgusting images of children as young as 7, possibly as old as 9, performing various sex acts on an adult male. And you know, I can't even think of the term to use other than what a sick son of a bitch this individual is. You know, he's downloaded over 400 of these extremely graphic, sickening photos, and unfortunately for us, we don't know who the children are in these sex scenes. But he's in jail. I mean, he's facing over 30 counts of possession of child pornography. This investigation is far, far from over. Even though he's in custody, you know, the detectives are still looking at some other angles in this, and you know, it's a sad commentary on the world that we live in today. That you can sit at your home. There's people out there producing it and manufacturing it, and there's people out there that are paying for it and downloading it and viewing it. And I just say thank God for the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children and the technology that they have, that they are able to alert us and tell us, hey, this is in your county, and this is what you need to look for. And then the detectives just take it and run.
Sheriff, is there something that leads you to believe that the suspect is in these photographs with the child victims?
I'm checking on that for you right now. But right now, I'm going to tell you no. There's a line in the report that we're checking on.
Okay.
You know, it's kind of like, why is this, what does this sentence mean? But we don't believe at any point in time that he is the male in these scenes.
But do you believe that some of these children could be local?
We don't believe that. We don't believe that. We're, you know, like I said, there's still an investigation. There's still a lot of things that are going on. You know, there's still a lot of moving pieces to this. Investigators are following up on a lot of different evidence. But for now, what we got from the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children was that this guy was downloading a plethora of child pornography, which comes to fruition with the search warrant, the arrest warrant. Over 400 images were downloaded. As far as who's in there, we can't tell you that. Is he in there? We're pretty confident that he's not in there in these things. But as the investigations, like anything else, there's a lot of other avenues that we have to go down before we can comfortably close the book on this.
That's you know, you said you got over 500 images. That's a lot of images for one person to have. Was he using those all for himself and his own personal use, or was he distributing those to anybody else?
There's no sign that he distributed. That he's only charged with possession of. He's not charged with distributing it. He's not charged with manufacturing it. Now, did he invite people to his home to view it? That's always a possibility. But he didn't send it anywhere.
Sheriff, he's a married man. I think there was maybe a son living with him. Is there any explanation from either the suspect or family to say, or is it pure denial?
Well, the denial is a river that runs through Egypt, and every time you come across a bad guy, they're always in denial. I don't think this was, I accidentally went to the wrong website and it directed me into this, and oh my God, there was this horrible picture. You know, you have over 400 times he downloaded this stuff. So there's no accident here. You know, this is unfortunately what he is, you know.
And what's the concern when someone behaves in this kind of nature in the privacy of his own home? What's the greater concern going forward?
The greater concern is that somewhere, somebody out there manufactured this sick, disgusting, twisted videos and pictures. That's what the concern is. Somewhere along the line, there are 5 to 9-year-olds, 5 to 7-year-olds that are put into a position where they're sexually exploited, and then these things are downloaded to all the creeps and perverts that are out there that want to sit in their own home and view this stuff. You know, the crime is you're not allowed to possess it. You know, you're not allowed to manufacture it, you're not allowed to make it. who is the most vulnerable members of our society, are our very young and our very old. And for somebody to sit home and download this stuff, for their own pleasure, somebody's being hurt to fulfill his pleasure. While he's sitting there downloading it, somebody's making this stuff because there's a demand out there for it. And the question is, how do you find out who these children are that are in these videos? Where are they coming from? Who's making them? That's what the big thing is. But the simple fact that, law, supply, and demand, he's demanding it, somebody's going to supply it. So you got to go after both ends of it.
Well, you don't think he was in the videos or manufacturing the videos. Do you ever think he acted out on any of these urges and actually went after any children himself?
That's all part of when I say where we're headed in our investigation, because we don't know the answers to those questions. What we know for certain is we were notified by the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children that a lot of these images were being downloaded to this IP address, and they gave it to us, and we take the ball and run with it. And then, the number one thing is to build the case for the possession of it, and then you want to see where this investigation takes you from there.
Was he cooperative, or did he admit to anything?
I think it would be safe to say that he exercised his constitutional rights that are afforded to him.
How long do you think this had been going on for? I mean, I know you were investigating him since August, but how long
We got
do you
into
think he may have
August,
been?
so
Yeah.
this didn't happen overnight. We started in August, so I can't tell you how long he's been downloading the images. There's enough there that it triggered the National Center, to contact us. And again, like I said, this wasn't somebody who's on the internet playing around and gets directed to a website and goes, "Oh my God, look where I'm at," and get out of there. There was a conscious effort, and obviously when you forensically get into the computer, it gives you a date, time, and all the times that it was done, all the downloads that he did.
Have you finished your examination of his computer?
No, I need to close.
So there may be more.
There could be a lot more on there that's been going on. This could be the tip of the iceberg. This could be the whole iceberg.
Thanks, Sheriff.
Merry Christmas.